name is Sangla and welcome to another episode of EMTV. And in today's episode, we'll be talking about the yangqin rubber. The rubber I'm talking about is the rubber you find on the tip of yangqin beater. Okay, the rubber comes in different colors and each color has different characteristics. So I'm very happy to have with me here today Anson Lim. Anson is one of our yangqin instructors and he'll be sharing with us the different kinds of rubber we have in stock and also how they sound like. So thanks for coming, Anson.
Thanks for having me again.
Yes. So first, would you tell us what actually is the purpose of the rubber on the yangqin beater?
Okay, so as you know, the yangqin sticks, beaters, are made up of bamboo, and then at the tip there's this wooden part here.
Yes.
Yeah, so as you can see. Okay, so as you know, if you strike metal strings with wood, it will sound very dry, very crisp, like. Okay,
alright.
so with the addition of the rubber, it will make it sound more mellow. But as you, if you know, in different culture there are different types of yangqin, and then they tend to not have rubber.
Okay.
So I think the Chinese yangqin is the only one that has to put a rubber to make it sound more mellow.
Okay, Anson, so could you tell us about the different kinds of rubber that we have in stock and the tone that they give?
Okay, so basically we have around 5. So we have the white rubber, or pale yellow, followed by maroon, red, black, and yellow. So what are the difference other than color is that when we buy rubber, we look at the different thickness of the rubber and whether it can last long. So we start by thickness first, and the first one we're going to demonstrate is the white rubber, as that you're holding your hand, thank you. So the white rubber is the most thin one that we have in the store. So how does it sound like? So just imagine stretching a rubber and stretching out really thin. It's like hitting between a piece of paper, or should I put it that way? So this is the sound that you make without the rubber, especially when you go to the higher notes. It's like dry and crisp.
Yeah,
so with the thin one, it sounds similar, but you can already hear the immediate difference already.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the difference between having a rubber and. Okay, but this is still thin. So it will still sound like the wood hitting the metal. You can still hear that sound, but this is slightly better. And then it lasts quite, it's easy to put on. This is one of the easiest rubber I've ever put on. So if you have seen the video, or you might see the video that we're going to teach you how to put on rubber, you can see how much struggle it is to put on the other one, but the white one is really, it's smoother, so it's easier to put on also. So that's the white rubber.
Alright.
Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is the maroon. Okay, so as you can see, maroon, the difference between the maroon and the white is actually quite, there's not much difference, I would say, but this goes up one more level in thickness.
Okay.
So it will sound same. Oh, by the way, all the sticks that we're using now are the same sticks, and the rubber that we cut are the same length.
Okay.
Yeah, so we keep everything consistent for this demonstration. So this is the white one. As you can see, I don't have to use too much force to play a very loud sound. So for this one as well. So they both sound sort of similar.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just that the red is a little bit thicker. So it comes down to preference whether you like the white one or the red one. So if you like to play loud, or you're playing, very high energetic pieces, and it demands you to go slightly louder, then I would prefer, then you would like to use the thinner one.
Like the red or
the red or the white one, yeah.
Okay.
And the red and the white one are easier to put on also,
Okay.
I would say. Alright, so we move up one more level of thickness, and it's the red sticks.
Okay.
Alright. So this one, there's a very big difference in thickness. Alright, as you can see, so if you compare, this one you can still see the inside of the stick. This is slightly more transparent, that's one reason, but it's also thinner. But whereas this one, you can hardly see it already. Okay, so this is how it will sound like. It's thicker, which means more mellow, like you're hitting like a pillow.
Okay.
So the thickness is like everything is absorbed. So this is the maroon or the high. And then this is the red one, which is more mellow. So everything is more absorbed,
Yes.
more round. So this is when you're playing pieces that interchange between slow parts and fast parts, or a mixture of loud and soft. So this one is better because it gives you more control over what sort of sound you want. Whereas the thinner ones is just usually loud. You know, and then so that's why it's better to get the thicker one, the slightly thicker one. But the only drawback is it's more difficult to put on. So you have to have a lot of patience when you put on this kind of rubber, but it lasts way longer. It's one of those long-lasting rubbers that I have.
So the thicker rubbers will last longer?
Yeah, but it's more difficult to put on, and you need to have a lot of patience, and especially for beginners, where you keep breaking the thicker one. So you can start off with the thin rubbers, you know, play louder pieces, like especially when you combine thin rubbers with heavy sticks. It's a very good practice for you also. Okay, so the next one is the black and yellow, which I'm going to introduce at the same time because they are quite similar as well. Okay, so the only difference is that the yellow is way thicker than the black one. So the yellow one is so thick that it actually provides a bit of weight on your yangqin stick, which for me, I prefer heavier heads. So whenever I put on the yellow rubber, it provides even more weight. So I have more striking force when I go down. And then it's even more mellow because it's thicker and then it absorbs more. So everything is, and then if you want to go really soft, yeah, I really love the yellow one because before I ever go on stage to perform, I will change it to the yellow one because it's thick. It's thick enough that it doesn't compromise the sound, and it provides some sort of weight to it, which I really enjoy using as a yangqin player. Yeah, so the black one is also the same, and these two, together with the red, are the three most long-lasting rubbers that you can find in the market right now. Not saying like normal market, like outside in the industry. This three rubber is the one that instructors or professionals would prefer to use. Not saying that the thin ones are bad, but it doesn't give you much control. It's bright and loud. That's the good thing about it. Yeah, so that's the different types of stick you have.
Okay, can I summarize by saying that for beginners, for ease of putting it on, maybe the thinner ones will do better, and for the more experienced players, you might want to get the thicker rubbers because you get more control.
Yeah, it gives you more control in terms of loudness, mellow, rich tone and stuff like that. Yeah.
Alright.
So one more thing that I have to point out is that once as you progress in playing yangqin, you'll find that you will have to have different types of sticks and different types of rubbers in your collection. So for me, I do have almost every of it. I have the yellow, I have the black, and I have the red one. Because different repertoire and different choice and different feelings need different thickness and different choices of rubbers. So that's my tip for everyone who's gonna play yangqin in the long run, to have different variety of sticks and rubber in your bag.
Alright, thank you for that very informative session by Anson.
Thank you.
And if you have any comments or questions, do drop us a message. And once again, thank you for watching and see you next time.